Megan, you've played the sport of soccer since you were 3 years old. What went into this decision to hang up the cleats and call it a career after the OL Reign season finishes?
Yeah, probably that right there, since I've been playing since I'm 3. I'm 38 now, so it just feels like the right time. I think physically it's the right time. I feel really at peace, with being able to step away and have the career that I've had. I think watching Sue go through it and just having so many conversations and kind of like pre-processing with her as she was processing just, made me realize that I'm ready. I mean, I think that there's always things I'll miss about it. You can't, replicate being a professional athlete, and certainly not at the level I've been able to do it at. But I'm also really excited for what's to come and what's next. And feels like the right time.
You've won 2 FIFA World Cup titles. You've been a Ballon d'Or winner, Olympic gold medalist, and other medals as well. FIFA Women's Player of the Year, NCAA championships at Portland. You've succeeded at every single level for so long. What has driven you? What's been your motivator?
I mean, I've been really lucky to be a part of winning teams, and it's really fun to do that. Obviously, playing with the women's national team for such a long time, we win a lot, and so there's a lot of celebrating and a lot of success there. I think I just love the game. I think at the heart of it, I've play the game in so many ways, in the same way that I did when I was, a little kid as I do now. I've always really enjoyed it. I think at the end of the day, it's always been that to me. It's been a game. It's been something that I get so much joy out of, and that I can really express myself. So I think that's really at the heart of it, and why I've been able to play so long, because it is difficult, and it, is a lot of sacrifice and takes so much time and is physically difficult. And if you don't really love it, it's not really going to be worth it.
It has been such an honor to be able to wear this shirt and to play with all these amazing players and to just live out my childhood dream.
Being able to couple that with, everything that, especially the national team that's done off the field, and that sort of greater mission of things, seeing the way that women's sports have grown over the years, has been a huge motivator as well. I think I've been able to use soccer as a vehicle for a lot of my other passions, and use it as a way to, make the world a better place, and, sort of make my mark on the world in that way.
The way that you've had a fearless voice in all of this, and you talk about the changing generation not accepting less and wanting more, where did you develop that voice of fearlessness, of we're going to bring a lawsuit to the U.S. Soccer Federation and demand equal pay?
I'm the youngest of 7 kids. I'm a twin, but I'm the youngest of the twins also. So probably having to, elbow out a little space when I was younger. I've always been a little bit rambunctious like that, and always had that kind of entertainer type flair. But I think too, I just saw very early on how you could couple, or how I could couple my talent on the field with things that mattered off the field. I didn't choose to be a woman. I didn't choose to be gay. I didn't choose to, be in soccer. And so some things were sort of just there for the taking. It kind of was who I was, and, where we were in terms of where the sport was. And, it wasn't just me, as so many of my teammates. Like, it basically was like, if we want things to be better, we're going to have to, take it upon ourselves. And I think that, goes in a lot of different ways, not just equal pay, but I think we realized that we could use our voice again to try to affect change and make the world a better place. And, understanding how the platform started to grow, after 2011 and 12, certainly after 2015, winning the World Cup. I think we were all like, wow, we have a real opportunity to affect big change, really meaningful long-term change. It obviously took, a number of years and a lawsuit later, and many a battle in the media. But I think for all of us, it just became this thing. It felt like we couldn't not do it. Having the platform that we did, and being, situated the way that we were. We had so much privilege sort of within an underprivileged group. And just, decided kind of as a group to use our voice and see where it got us.
I've actually heard you say when people don't celebrate goals, it irritates you because it's so hard to do. You bring it back to 2019, the pose after scoring against France. Where do some of those ideas generate, and do you have a favorite celebration?
We've done a lot of group celebrations. It was always fun. The Snow Angels was fun. We did a cartwheel one. Singing into the mic was fun. Certainly the pose, that was my best individual performance in terms of celebrations. But yeah, that's got to be up there. I think just all that it meant, and again, the time that we were in that particular moment in our career, but sort of in the history of our team was so important. And I think the joy, just like, you can't go back and celebrate. You don't get those moments back. I mean, I always say it's annoying when people don't celebrate on the field. Like, this is literally the whole point of the game, is to score the goals to win the game. As we know, in soccer, it doesn't happen very often, so I'm certainly going to celebrate then. But I think just in general, my joy for the game, I've never lost sight of the fact that I get to do this for a living.
With the U.S. women's national team, you've upheld and you've created just such a high standard. So looking back to this summer, what do you take from that experience? Kind of an exit earlier than you imagined, I'm sure your teammates imagined. How do you handle that kind of defeat, a few months later?
I mean, it's part of it. I feel like our expectation is, and our goal is perfection and winning every single game and winning every single championship and, winning every single little drill and training. But we also know that doesn't always happen. And I think for me, looking back and just, the performance of the team, like, our process was good and we did play our very best. And I think you can't fault any of the players for lack of professionalism or lack of effort or, lack of preparation in any kind of way. Sometimes teams are better than you. Sometimes it doesn't always work out perfect. I've lost World Cups and lost Olympics and lost NWSL championships. I don't think anyone's ever had a perfect career. So it's disappointing for sure. I would have loved to go out winning another World Cup and seeing players win for the first time and being part of, a new generation. But I also think it's important, in reflection, especially for that group, to take everything out of it that they can and, understanding where they fell short and, where they need to get better to hopefully move on and get another one. Sue and I have our production company together, A Touch More, so very excited about really being able to dig in and spend a lot more time there. And just to continue to be involved in, the sort of business and architecture of the next phase of women's sports is really what I'm excited about. I think that there's obviously so much potential. I love where it's at, and it's growing at such a rapid rate, and I feel like there's no better person to be right in the middle of all of that and, helping to shape and craft what's coming next.
And give this body a bit of a break after so many years of incredible.
I'll be doing like light yoga and Pilates or something. The running is going to get turned down significantly.
Brisk walks, catch Megan Rapinoe out on the streets. Maybe. Good luck the rest of this season. Thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it. Thank you for what you've done for Seattle and for the U.S. women's national team and beyond.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.